Welcome to Fear and Greed, the Sunday edition. It's the 20th of February, 2022. That's 20022022. And I'm Sean Aylmer. Now remember, the Sunday edition is a change of pace from the rest of the week, where the Fear and Greed team share some of our favourite stories of the week. As always, I'm joined by the team, Adamski, Adam Lang. Good morning.
Good morning, Sean.
Mickey T, Michael Thompson. Good morning.
Hello, Sean.
How's that for a date? 20022022.
Well, we have to give accolade to the man Richie Benno. May he rest in peace.
Absolutely. I love it.
You do have a bit of an obsession with interesting dates, and even when they're not particularly interesting, you still like to point them out.
Still find a fascination.
Perhaps. Look, I just want to talk to you, Adam, about something.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Something that's come up. And then, we'll get on to the audience feedback and the safe word of the week shortly. But there was an interview this week, and the interviewee came on, a lovely person. And as it turns out, this person, Adam, ended up loving mowing lawns.
Right.
So she's a chief executive, and she's worked out that actually mowing a lawn is quite therapeutic.
Satisfying.
And that was all right. And so we were chatting away, and Michael was in the discussion. And I kind of mentioned to this person that Michael was part of a lawn appreciation society. Now, this is Michael Thompson, who, of course, gives you so much grief for being an old man. Michael Thompson, mid-30s.
Remember, it's constructive feedback, Sean. It's not grief.
And it's same for you in this one, Mickey. The Lawn Appreciation Society, and they started talking about it. And then Michael, who lives in Sydney, gave her some advice. He suggested that this weekend the woman who lives in Melbourne drive down to Geelong because it has the best lawn mowing shop or lawn care shop in the country. How do you know that, Mickey?
Michael, your expertise is considerable.
How do you know that?
Okay, it is an Australian business. It's a family-run business called
how do you know
Lawn
it?
Addicts Australia, because they run one of the lawn websites, one of the lawn Facebook groups that I'm a part of, and
One
you
of
can
them?
buy. Yeah, there's more than one. I don't want to just get all my information from one source, but
That'd be too risky.
I've bought a stack of things. I was about to say mail order, but that makes me sound very old. No, I bought them online from Lawn Addicts Australia, and I think they're terrific. And obviously I'll be sending this podcast to them.
What is it, Mickey, that makes the lawn so interesting?
Oh, I feel like this is a question that you already know the answer to, Sean. That there's
What a rhetorical question.
there's nothing more satisfying than seeing your lawn perfectly trimmed and consistently green. And if you can maintain that all year round, weed-free, you've essentially added on kind of another couple of rooms to your house. And so I can only suggest that everybody go to Lawn Addicts, join the Facebook page, join the club, join the cult, and get on board with lawns.
Michael, is there a lawn poets society? Can you write an ode to
Ye
your lawn?
old green lawn, why art thou so brown?
I'm sure there already is. And
Please see Lawn Addicts come to me via mail order.
But okay, there's actually a movement. There is a movement in Australia, and it's probably worldwide, and it's called lawn porn, and it is
Oh,
it is.
God. Okay, quick safe word.
Well, I think we just found it. Lawn
I think
porn.
we have just found it, lawn porn.
Yes, there it is.
Safe words.
It is the sharing of photographs of your lawn, and when you get that perfect mow, and when it is just that perfect height,
The perfect mow.
and when it is just, and you know what I mean about
Love him.
that consistent green, that it's not kind of patchy and you don't have kind of a little bit of a dead patch here and it's a bit kind of weedy there. No, when it is perfect all the way across, that is lawn porn.
Something to behold.
Yeah, it is. So you know what? I'm going to share both of you a couple of photos next time I'm proud of my achievement.
Can you give me the mail order address as well, please?
Okay. A mail order was a slip up. It is clearly online. I don't personally remember anything being mail ordered. I know that's probably a bit of I'm taking you back to your
Best form of defence is attack, is it, Michael?
That's right. You're taking you back to your middle age there.
We're going to cut you off. Lawn porn. That's the safe word.
Adam, you had a safe word suggestion as well, didn't you, this week?
I did. I had one in reserve. It was teabag.
Teabag.
Can I use the safe word on that safe word? Lawn porn. Lawn porn.
Well, the reason, despite any malicious interpretation, Michael, was that I have had a real challenge this week in my home office, and it really does reveal the lack of athleticism that I have, that I've been blessed with.
No.
I know. It's funny to even consider it, but it's true.
You're not making this any better, but please go on.
No, I'm digging a deeper hole. I can feel it as I speak. But I stand about 6 feet, maybe 7, so nearly 2 meters away from the bin. And when my tea is finished brewing, I squeeze out the tea bag and I throw it in the bin. I've had a shocking record this week, 50%. So the tea bag has been my nemesis this week.
Has it splattered all over the floor when you missed?
Well, no, I squeeze it out quite a lot, so there's not much moisture left. But just the miss, the dishonour of the miss.
Do you use your fingers to squeeze it out?
I do.
So then what happens to your fingers? Aren't they all wet and teabaggy?
No, because I've got good technique, good teabag technique.
But surely, what do you do with your wet teabag fingers next?
Well, they dry in a matter of milliseconds.
Okay, just
Oh, Adam.
You just used the words, Adam, that I will never let you forget. The quote was, "I've got good teabag technique."
Yeah.
Thank you for committing that to the record.
Yeah. Now, this is a man who this week, Adam, you're not a swearer. You came out with the big word, not the biggest word, but the big word. Mm-hmm. You kind of yelled it down the microphone, which took both Mickey T and I aback somewhat. We said, "Are you okay? You okay? You okay?" Worried that something had happened to a family member or something or other. And your response was, "There's a blowfly in the office."
There's another nemesis. I've been under attack this week, haven't I?
As opposed to last week and the week before.
No, not from you guys, from within my own office.
That's right. Tea bags, blowflies. Mickey, have we got any audience feedback this week?
We do have a couple of pieces of audience feedback. Both of these came through Apple Podcasts, and we do love getting reviews on Apple Podcasts, not just because it helps the algorithm and bumps us up the various lists within Apple, but it's also good for the ego when you get something like this that says, "Fear and Greed is brilliant. Is there a better way to start your workday? I don't think so." And that came from someone named, and I know this is where the credibility does start to slip away when the name comes out, and it is Your Manly Man posted this one. And I thought that was something about their masculinity, but it probably actually is about manly in New South Wales or in Queensland. There's another piece as well, which is from somebody by the name of Pedro Burge, who said, "A great range of topics. I was recommended this podcast by a dear friend of mine and am very happy she did. Keeps me abreast of what I'm looking for." So that means there's in fact 2 people listening there, Pedro Burge and Mr. Burge's friend, who have both listened to it. And I'm really worried that we're going to turn them off with this Sunday edition. So far, we've gone through lawn porn,
tea bags,
and I've got a bit of a gripe that I want to raise with both of you shortly as well.
Oh, excellent.
Keep it going. We like your gripes.
Well, I haven't had one for a while, and it is business related, and it is about, in a way, Premier Investments.
Okay.
Solly Lou's business, who owns all sorts of large retailers like JJ Jeans, Smiggle, Peter Alexander, etc.
Exactly. And Peter Alexander is the specific brand that I want to talk to you about. So if you're not familiar with Peter Alexander, they make sleepwear, they make pajamas, and they've been really successful over a very long period of time. And they often have really good sales, and so you can pick up good quality pajamas at a pretty affordable price. Again, it sounds like I'm just delivering a live read right now for Peter Alexander, like I did for Lawn Addicts previously. But there is an issue here, and it's almost enough for me to buy Premier Investment shares just so that I can go to the AGM and voice my concerns directly to the board.
Serious gripe.
Yeah, go on.
Peter Alexander have started making all of their pajamas without pockets. And if you have ever worn pajamas, which I'm assuming you both have, please do not confirm that.
Lawn porn.
Okay, I'll pull back slightly about what you sleep in.
Thank you.
But pockets are essential in your pajamas. We get up very early, right? So it's kind of 5 a.m., 4:35 a.m., and I record most mornings in my pajamas. There's a bit of a confession for you there.
What?
But you need to have your phone in your pocket, always have some chewing gum in there, usually have a pen as well, have the house keys in there.
Pocket protector?
A couple of other things. No, not a pocket protector. It's not a bloody shirt pocket, Adam. It's the pants pockets.
I have so much to learn.
6 months ago, Peter Alexander stopped putting pockets in their pajama pants. And I guarantee you, 100% guarantee you that I am not the only person that has this gripe. And you know what? I'm actually going to say, if anybody else agrees with me, to let us know via Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, or go to fearandgreed.com.au and send me an email, because I know I'm not alone with this. Pockets are an essential part of pajama pants, and for Peter Alexander to cut them out is a crime against pajamas.
Outrageous.
Rise up, Australia.
Rise up, Australia, and let's tell Premier Investments what we think of what they have done to Peter Alexander.
Ruined them.
But the only problem with this, right? So fair enough, I'm with you on the pockets, absolutely. Because we do get up early, you kind of sneak out of the room so you're not waking anyone else up. Got your pockets full of things. Peter Alexander, though, they have reinvented pajamas. I think Peter Alexander, previously there were either very slinky pajamas or pretty much passion killers, the flannies, and that's it. Nothing in between.
Which ones did you wear?
Neither.
It was cold. I'm from the country originally. There's nothing wrong with flanny pajamas, honestly.
Slinky flannelettes.
They got hot in summer, but still I didn't mind wearing them.
An attractive pair of Ud boots.
But Peter Alexander created this whole market for pajamas. I think it's genius.
What, the lack of pockets?
Well, no, I do agree with you on that. But generally, I'm a big Peter Alexander fan because they just created a market where there wasn't one.
Oh, well, I tell you what, that market is going to disappear very quickly for Peter Alexander, and you watch the Premier Investment share price when everyone else in Australia catches on to the issue that I've identified here today.
A big issue.
Pocket-led decline.
We'll be back in a moment with those two jokers, Adamski and Nicky T. Why are you two laughing? This is one of those moments where you're supposed to remain quiet. So let's do that again.
So this is the real Sean.
He is not kind.
You've got to remember,
So mean.
I have had a week with my mum.
And no internet.
And with internet coming in and out, one of the guests that we were chasing for 22 months since we started this show finally got on this week. And I went to interview him. We'll just call him Peter Harcher. We won't just call him pseudonym Peter Harcher. Not much of a pseudonym, that one. Anyway, Peter came on the show. He's very, very good. And he came on and I said, hello, Peter. And he said, hello, Sean. And then the internet went down. Mickey T had to do the interview, thank God.
Luckily, you had someone
That's right.
standing there waiting for his opportunity with the internet cable in his hand at the time.
Just happened to be ready to stand in.
There was no internet outage at all. No, just me with a pair of scissors.
Righto, now let's get onto a topic that I know is very close to Adam's heart because he has bored you and I senseless with it numerous times.
That's not a good way to set it up.
Fabulous introduction.
That's true. It's not a fair way to set it up because it's been a really big issue the last few days. Both New South Wales and Victoria a couple of days ago came out with new rules around COVID restrictions and basically reducing the restrictions, and there's a push to get people back to work from early March. They came after Dexus, which is a major landlord, came out and not only had a double profit, but basically the chief executive, Darren Steinberg, said that people were returning to the office and it was the staff pushing it, not management. People wanted to get back to the office. I think, Adam, am I right in saying he thought the 1st of March was about the time that people would end up back in the office? I thought there was a note of scepticism when that story came up, Adam.
Well, you're right. We've talked about it for a while, and it's probably a medium to long-term question than it is a short-term one. And I must say plaudits to Dexus because they seem to have ridden out this challenge really well. You know, it's can't be an easy market for commercial office leasing and and ownership. So the statement from Chief Executive Darren Steinberg, you're right, Sean, was that occupancy in the group's office tower portfolio is above 95% and growing. He thinks March 1 is the date where most companies will reopen office spaces en masse. And you're also right to mention, Sean, the rules around how that's going to happen are really important because, let's face it, wearing a mask all day is not the most comfortable experience. So credit to Dexus for the result. And I was quite stunned that 95% occupancy and growing. Now, what I've got to, I guess, observe alongside that is just the fact that companies are leasing this space doesn't mean people are going back into the office as they were. So it might be a short-term decision for companies to say, look, we want to make sure we can go back to the way we were if we want to. We want to make sure people can come back to the office as and when they wish. And that might mean having 100% occupancy, or it might be lower. But let's just keep the leasing going the way we are and allow for that to happen. My expectation over time, and as we've discussed, is that there will be a lower need for the amount of office space, that it will reduce as less than 100% of people come back to all work days in the office. So, Michael, I know this has been an issue for you. How are you seeing it?
I never want to go back to the office, ever.
Right. Can't wear pajamas with pockets.
That's right. Does the office want you back?
Probably not with an attitude like that. Now that we've all had a taste of working from home and working remotely, God, it's good.
With your lawn.
Oh, look.
And your family.
I gaze out onto the lawn, and the family's there too, yes, but the lawn is just outside the window, and my God, it looks nice. No, it's just the lack of a commute, the lack of having to talk to other people,
Except for like now, obviously, Michael.
Even now, you know what? I can just turn you guys off at any point I like. No,
but
it's a delight.
Don't you miss that sort of the collaboration and the kind of bonhomie or whatever it is that you get working in an office with people?
No, you can get that remotely. You absolutely can.
Totally disagree.
Chasing huntsman spiders around the office.
Oh, well, I tell you what, yeah, I'm safe from the impact of you on the office there, Adam, and scaring huntsmans into my bag. For anyone who missed that one, that was from last week's episode. Definitely worth a listen to hear what kind of a CEO Adam Lang is. He scares spiders, that's for sure. Now,
it hasn't been on my resume to now, but I might have to reconsider that.
Yeah, you probably should. Great people manager, great culture. Good at frightening spiders. Tick, tick, tick. But no, look, I have no interest really in returning to an office environment. The commute is really a big turnoff. Driving an hour or catching the train for half an hour or 45 minutes, it doesn't strike me as anything that's particularly productive. And I do disagree with you, Sean. I think you can collaborate effectively with people remotely. The technology is there now. Sure, it might be beneficial to every couple of weeks see people face to face or every couple of months. But really, what can you do in a room together that you can't do remotely with technology now?
So, Michael, were you surprised by that Dexus result?
I suppose I was, actually. I thought there would be more people that would be aligned with my view, but, I'm used to being an outlier now. It's probably why I like being on my own so much.
And Sean, how did you see it?
Oh, I think people will go back to the office. I didn't think it would happen on the 1st of March, though, so that's sort of an aggressive timing, but I think people will go back to the office.
So will you? Will you go back to an office?
Oh no way.
Right.
No, I mean, I don't know whether I'll go back to an office. Not really. I don't think so. I mean, the idea of going to an office 5 days a week, that's just horrendous.
I've just found that, for all the benefit of being in person with other people, and I do like that. That is my preferred place and format to meet with people. But the trade-off is the commute, the parking, the absence from home. We've all got children. It's a lot to miss when you don't have to.
Yeah, the kids are really pushing you to get back to the office, Adam.
Well, they're back at school now.
I've spoken to the boys. They're like, can you get Dad back to the office, please?
Yeah, and Lara texts me almost daily saying, can you please take out that office lease again?
Look, I want to move on to something which I thought was quite entertaining this week. So Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister
Always good for a laugh.
gave Scott Morrison a call, or vice versa. I'm not quite sure who made the initial contact. And officially, the discussion canvassed defence and security issues as well as collaboration around technology. But could you imagine what the opening line would be in phone calls between senior leaders? So, like, does Boris ring ScoMo, and ScoMo goes, I don't know, BJ, some good parties recently, eh? Hey. How's it work? What are the opening lines?
Can I just hazard a guess?
Yes.
And they could each say it to each other with equal effect. Well, you've had a tough week.
That would be about it, I reckon. I think you're spot on. It would be Boris assuring Scott Morrison that he doesn't find him untrustworthy, that he doesn't think he's a psycho.
And hasn't lied to him.
He's not a horrible person. He's not a liar. He's like all those things that Gladys Berejiklian and Barnaby Joyce called him. He doesn't agree with them. Emmanuel Macron, that's true. Closer to home.
Yeah, and Morrison saying, look, it's only a couple of dozen parties. Doesn't really matter.
You're unlucky you PM in a time of social media, Boris, because otherwise you would have got away with it.
Did you guys see Boris was a bit of a doorstop and he was asked the price of bread and milk? And he said, no, I don't know that, but I can tell you the price of a bottle of champagne. I was like, don't know if that's going to help.
No. The gotcha kind of question like that, the price of bread and milk and the GST on a birthday cake, they've been around for so long, as if you wouldn't just prepare for everything like that. And if you don't know the answer, you don't make it worse for yourself by volunteering information that actually kind of paints you as even more out of touch.
Yeah.
Do you know how much a loaf of bread is, Michael? And Adam, both of you think about this?
Absolutely.
After 3, you're going to tell me.
Can tell us what type of bread you want.
So look, $2.50 is probably your supermarket normal bread, but you can get artisanal bread for $7.50.
No. You would have agreed with that, Michael?
No, well, it's a bigger range than that. You can get the home brand white bread for as low as kind of $1 up to $1.50. Then you can get your kind of your Helgas or your Abbotts is around kind of ranging from $4.50 to $5.50. And then you'd be, once you get into your sourdoughs, you're kind of $7.50 to $8 or so. So it's a fairly significant range.
Michael, are you a member of a bread appreciation society?
I love bread.
Lawn porn, bread porn.
Oh, I absolutely love bread. And remember when Scott Morrison was asked about that fairly recently, and when he was asked what kind of bread he likes, and he said that he just likes regular white bread. And,
what a surprise. What a surprise.
That he volunteered that to me was the most surprising thing. It's like, yep.
He's everyone's Prime Minister, though, at Damsky. Don't you be mean on him.
You're right. Sorry.
We've actually learned quite a bit about ScoMo's personal life recently, because a week ago, 60 Minutes had the ukulele playing kind of family
April
man.
Sun in Cuba, yes.
Yeah. It's come up a few times this week, actually. It's that line between personal life and business life. And I mean, Hamish Douglas, the former boss of Magellan Funds in the last couple of weeks, he's had to step down for health reasons. Now, part of that was the fact that he split from his wife. He separated from his wife. It was very, very public. I felt really sorry for the fella. We've had, we mentioned this a moment ago, Barnaby Joyce calling the Prime Minister a liar and a hypocrite in a text a couple of years ago. Gladys Berejiklian purportedly doing the same or calling him a horrible, horrible man. The big one this week, though, was that Jeff Bainbridge from Lark Distillery, and he had to quit because an explicit video was given to the Australian newspaper in which he appears to be smoking a methamphetamine pipe. He's talking about getting high and engaging in sexual activities. Now, this guy's a co-founder of Grilled. He basically took full responsibility for it. He said he couldn't quite remember the night, but footage had emerged the next day. Someone had tried to extort him, and that was ongoing. I really struggle. I mean, if I'm a shareholder, I want to know that my CEO is reasonably well behaved, but it's this crossing the line. That's a really damaging video to be playing. It's a bit like the Hamish Douglas's separation from his partner, from his wife. I don't know. I think sometimes we do cross the line a bit.
I think Hamish Douglas is one thing. That's a very personal matter. There's nothing illegal in any of that. Allegedly, Jeff Bainbridge was smoking an ice pipe. And I think that's where the line is to me, that it goes beyond a personal matter and a matter of judgment necessarily to allegedly an illegal act. And that's where I think that line should be, and the shareholders and the board should know about it, and he was right to resign. I did think that he didn't probably take quite enough personal responsibility in what he said. It was kind of putting more on the fact that he had been allegedly extorted than on the fact that he did this allegedly in the first place.
How many times are you going to say allegedly in this discussion, Michael?
It was what I always learned.
That's right.
But yeah, look, I do think that that's probably where the line is for me. But wasn't that just the most sordid, extraordinary story? It just had a little bit of everything, and the TV news loved it. Newspapers online loved it because there was video and audio. It just had everything.
Totally.
The Hamish Douglas matter is, I'm guessing, that involves health issues because he's not able to focus on his work while going through obviously a very tough breakup, as any marriage breakup would be. So I can see that as different. He hasn't done anything wrong or illegal. Two people have made a decision to separate, and he's obviously wrestling with that. In the instance of Jeff Bainbridge, he doesn't remember, and that's, I feel for someone who just can't recall, but what a terrible decision to have made. And it is the sort of decision to have made where, allegedly smoking an ice pipe, but video emerges and it's there to look at. He's made a bad decision, and it's really difficult to recover from that. You've virtually probably spent a whole career building yourself up to be in the position he is as a co-founder of Grilled and a CEO of Lark. But then he's made this bad decision and it's all come down. The consequences are immense. So the actions are indefensible, but geez, the consequences are harsh. It's going to be hard for him to recover, right?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. You just Google his name and that's all that they're going to see. It's pretty rough. Hey, look, we haven't got much time left. There was one topic I did want to mention, Mickey, because you were really excited about uni students getting big sign-on bonuses.
Oh, I thought this was a ridiculous story through the week, and it's probably actually a little bit of sour grapes, because you told the story about uni students getting sign-on payments that they're calling Kickstarter payments. They're really designed to lure young people, students, to companies where the demand is greatest. I just don't know when this suddenly became a thing. Why did it change from uni students kind of scrapping to get the handful of jobs that were available to suddenly being courted by companies and being paid bonuses to go and work there? This and I've had a few instances so far in this episode where I have sounded quite old, and this is probably going to be one of those.
Here we go. The young ones today.
The young ones today, what does it do to their appetite for work and that kind of work ethic, that when you really want to get the job, it suddenly kind of flips the balance back towards the job seeker, kind of like the whole "you're lucky to have me" kind of approach, which might be good if you're that job seeker, but what does it do for the culture of the workplace? I thought it was just extraordinary, and maybe I am just bitter about the fact that there wasn't a Kickstarter sign-on bonus when I started working. But then there was the other stories this week about the Australia Post executives getting retention bonuses of up to $500,000. Last week, the week before, Amazon doubling base pay for people in the right industry. The really good jobs numbers again on Thursday. Clearly, it's a job seekers market at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just can't get over the fact that uni students are getting sign-on bonuses. I think that is just ridiculous.
I think all credit to them. It's just the market.
I'm with you, Sean. Take them while they can get them. It's exceptional, right?
How on earth did I become the fuddy-duddy out of the three of us?
You always have been. You always have been. We just didn't want to say anything to you about it.
Young fogey.
That's right.
This feels like I have been set up from the start of today. I knew that it was a bad sign when Sean, you opened with, Adam, I want to talk to you about something. And I thought,
Here we
I
go.
don't reckon this is actually about Adam. I reckon this is going the old kind of come around to have a whack at me.
Hey, one thing I do want to say though, Michael, I did see Maggie during the week. Maggie's now wearing glasses. Now, for those who don't know, Maggie is Adam's new dog, new puppy, and I would say that Adam's signature look is a dark-rimmed glasses. You know, the whole theory of owners and pets becoming very much like each other. Maggie's wearing glasses all of a sudden.
Yeah, I suspect that at some point Adam and Maggie will kind of meet in the middle, that Adam will become a little bit more cavoodle-like and Maggie will look a little bit more like Adam. And eventually at some point you won't be able to tell them apart.
And if Maggie comes on the show, maybe we won't be able to tell them apart.
Well, I'll just teach Maggie spreadsheets and we'll see how close we can get.
Oh, excellent place to leave it. Excellent place to leave it. Look, that's about it for this morning. Thank you very much for listening to Fear and Greed, the Sunday edition. Michael, thank you for joining us this morning after a very big day yesterday. You had a family wedding that went well.
Yes. Yeah, all went very smoothly. They're married, so I suppose that's
That's
smooth.
the whole goal.
Yep, so tick that box.
And Adam, you had just another Saturday of cricket.
Yes, a festival of cricket, but a little special something on Saturday night. Went to see Icehouse
Oh,
at
really?
Cockatoo Island.
Oh,
Yes.
no way. Ivor Davies and friends.
Yes. Absolutely fabulous. And right
Was
in the
it?
middle of Sydney Harbour.
Wow. Michael, do you know who Icehouse is?
Yes, but I'm also grateful for Adam making himself sound like the old person again in the group.
Order is restored.
That's right.
Michael, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Sean.
Adam, thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
It's Sunday, the 20th of February, 2022. That's 20022022. I'm Sean Aylmer. We hope you enjoyed the show and have a great Sunday.